It's Jason Abraham, Shadow Teacher, and I'm going to share with you today on one of my favorite subjects to talk about, which is the understanding of the dark path and the light path, and how they show up in our experience in the world, how they call to us. And I challenge you to ask, which one is calling to you right now? What's calling you stronger? So first, I want to talk about the dark path, because the dark path is all around us. It's the most obvious path, usually, though we don't see it as the dark path. And essentially, the dark path is driven by the desire to control that which is outside of us, to manipulate that which is outside of us for our own intentions. This is how the work of the dark shows up, using rituals to bypass the life process, to violate the sovereign will of another being for our own ends. This is the path of dark. To hoard knowledge, power, wealth, secrets for oneself, and never share that knowledge. Use that hoarding of resources to hold power over others. And we see this anytime when you have people who dangle a carrot in front of you and say, you can have this too, but these are the conditions that you have to follow. And what you find is that particular individual who promises you that power, they never elevate you to an equal. They always maintain a hierarchy where they are in control. And we see this where you have authority figures who say, your experience doesn't matter. We are the experts, and therefore we can tell you what to do, what to think, what to believe, because we know better. And when you're a sovereign being, sovereignty is all about deciding for yourself and honoring your own experience, honoring what is the way you process what is around you. So whenever someone else refuses to honor that, that's the use of the dark path, because it's all about essentially putting them on an elevated level and you below that. Now, safety, the dark path, wanting to have control, certainty, safety, these are all, again, when you're looking and basing safety and certainty on something outside of you and feeling that you have to control circumstances outside of you, that puts you in alignment with the dark path. This is different than setting boundaries. Again, so I'll stop at the dark path there. So the path of light is the path of becoming. It's the path of congruence. It's the path of embodying what's inside, expressing itself outside. It is seeking nothing outside and seeking no validation from anything outside. It simply is. It shows up and it creates from within. The light path, there are ritual practices as well. But the rituals of a light path, you understand there's an understanding how nature works. And you use the timing of nature to work on specific things that are relevant for your soul to bring forth into the world. It never violates the will of another sovereign being. It honors the existence and the right for another life to be here and live. The light path typically is, even though it's around all the time, it doesn't throw itself in your face. It doesn't advertise. It doesn't need to advertise, as the path of understanding is something that just, again, it all happens within. It doesn't happen because someone tells you what to believe or what to do. It happens within because you feel a resonance. This is how the light works. The light elevates another sovereign being who is seeking and who hasn't come to maybe your level of understanding through sharing what's appropriate and elevating that spirit, and seeks not to control, no strings attached. The path of light also sets boundaries. The path of light does not allow something to come in that is in violation to its own sovereignty. It says no. It says it can set healthy boundaries and also set conditions of levels of engagement. This is how the path of light works. It sets an agreement and is very forthright. Where the path of dark wants to trick you into doing something you really don't want to do, the path of light is going to give you full disclosure. It's going to say, these are my conditions, and this is what I will bring if you can come into, and this is the relationship we bring in, and this is the agreement we make. So both paths, we have rituals, we have agreements, but the way they go about them is very different. The path of light is about understanding first within oneself, waking up within oneself, and then being that blessing to the world, allowing others to wake up and come into their full, greatest creative expression and sovereignty. And again, as human beings, we walk both paths. We experience both of these, but you do have to make a choice. You are called to make a choice. When you become a conscious being, then there is karma. There's always karma for what you choose, but the path of dark is looking at your physical form, your ego, as all there is, and wanting to preserve that forever and rule over others forever. Where the path of light is understanding this experience is just part of a point of a field of awareness, and when it's having the courage to move on and allow and to face fear, face the uncertainty, and understand that that's all part of the process, but being okay with it, saying yes and letting go. So once again, I can go on forever, and I will make more videos about this, because this is an area of fascination. It's something I've always been fascinated with, and just as more comes into my field of awareness, I'm happy to share with you. Class dismissed. I will see you on the other side.